Alright, this is my Kawasaki Versys-X 300. We are at beautiful Stave Lake. I am on my way back, just gonna turn around here, and I thought I would videotape this excursion. It's my first off-road ride of 2020. Right in smack dab in the middle of the coronavirus stuff in beautiful British Columbia here. There are lots of people out. Hopefully they're keeping away from each other as groups. That's what I was doing. That's what I am doing. We're just gonna wait for all these trucks to either park or pass, and then we'll be on our way. I'm a little concerned as I pull out here. I'm gonna try and probably drag my bike closer to the center of the road first, although I'm on a hill, so it may be a bit difficult. So I haven't done this camera setup in a while, so I'm not exactly sure how straight on it's gonna be. So hopefully I don't have to like fix it post-production too much. I have my little camera controller here. I don't need my phone right now. I'm just gonna be going back down this one road. So let's pull out here before other cars come and kind of get stuck. So I have to be pretty careful because normally, especially riding on the road, I can pretty much always touch my feet down. This bike is relatively short, but of course, on such an uneven surface, that's not always going to be the case. I'm also, a few other things of note, even just a little bit of work. I'm wearing a lot of layers, so I'm actually heating up rather fast, but it's like 3 degrees or something outside. Might be more now. It's later in the day. It was 3 degrees this morning when I left. So just things to note. I'm basically a complete novice when it comes to off-roading. So I'm just gonna let these people go by because I don't have to run the risk of these guys or like he almost did. It's quite the convoy. And there's a lot of dust kicking up. Probably gonna throw on my face shield so I don't eat all the dust. But I'm getting pretty warm. I could take off a layer probably, but as much protection as I can in case I do go down. I'm wearing pretty much full gear today. And aside from this little beginning bit when I'm just getting warmed up here and trying to explain my situation, it'll probably, the rest of the video is going to be heavy breathing. I did bring an extra battery, and I don't expect to run out of memory space. I think it only took me 20-25 minutes to get out here, almost 10 kilometers on the dirt road, going about average 20 to 30 kilometers an hour. I've done this road in the fall when it was really rainy, and the potholes and stuff were much worse. I need to flip my visor up, but I need a second of good road here. The roads are much worse, but I thought the roads would be really easy in the dry weather. But it turns out that when it's really dry, and there's patches of this place that don't have any tree cover, it's just really, really rocky and sandy. And it's slippery. It's pretty much just as slippery as it was when it was like pouring rain every day and I came out here in the rain. So that's not great. There are sections like this. They just have like potholes and stuff I'm trying to avoid. I will be standing probably at some point right now. This part of the road's pretty easy. The other parts of the road, they're much more difficult, where I will need to stand. So I'm trying to conserve my energy for when I will need to be standing. I also have headphones in. It's a bit more difficult, like not music playing, but just to protect my hearing, because I'm riding out here all day, and I've changed my muffler, my exhaust. I haven't actually posted that, but I have a new exhaust on this motorcycle, so it's much louder, and I already have a bit of hearing damage, so let's not make it any worse. Yeah, so probably up here, I don't know if the camera will do it justice, but it's pretty rocky. And I'm really just learning how to steer more with my feet than with my arms and my handlebars, and just kind of let the bike do its thing. I'm trying to pick good lines that aren't too crazy, too rocky. And in all honesty, these shadowy areas are a bit wetter, and the ground's packed down much more nicely. But I also found that going faster, while it is sketchy, it's actually much easier to keep the bike upright. I don't feel like I'm gonna fall over as much. I do feel a lot more sketchy because the bike, the front end's bouncing all over the place, but actually going faster is better because your centrifugal force of your wheels and stuff keeps you going forward and less likely to tip over. So I'm going pretty slow. This road's like 50 clicks an hour, and that's probably what most trucks and probably people who are decent at off-roading with 4x4s and motorcycles. I mean, 4x4 is much easier, but even motorcycles. So it's a narrow bridge here. So they're probably all going 50 where they can. So I just have to be careful I don't get run over. And I'm pretty bad at using the clutch. I do use the back brake a lot, especially in downhills, to keep myself kind of going where I want to go. But yeah, I mean, I've fallen really once in the rain, really badly off-road. I actually didn't do too much damage to my bike. The only thing that got broken were just like accessories I put on, not actual parts of the motorcycle. But this is about, I think we're going about 9 kilometers back. I wanted to go 10 forward, but then kind of just got tired and I wanted a snack and I was thirsty, so I just stopped at around about the 9 kilometer mark where that little kind of lookout point was, as you saw. Just keeping an eye out on the trail behind me as well, my mirrors, so plenty of anybody pass they want to. So this section, for example, this section is nice. It's smooth. There's a couple potholes here and there, but really there's a lot of lines that don't just completely avoid them. And then as soon as you see a bit of sun, it's like, oh crap, okay. There's a bit more gravel here. It's not packed down. It's not, gravel hasn't had the chance to sink in. Nodding to people as we go. A lot of gravel. Jeez. And then there's these whoops. They're not really whoops. They're pretty small for whoops, but they're pretty annoying and hard to avoid. They're kind of on the length of the road. I'm just trying my best to stay on the flatter-ish ground. I'm not getting stuck in them because I'm worried I can easily lose control. But we're good now, past the worst of it. This is the first time riding alone, so I'm a little more cautious than I normally would be. If I'm riding with other people, I tend to try and keep up with their speed, maybe go like 5 kilometers slower than them or something. And that's kind of where I found that, yeah, speed's really important when you're going off-road. It helps you maintain your balance, and it's pretty sketchy, but I mean, all of off-roading is when you're a beginner, so like me. So just gotta really pay attention to the line. Here's a bit more. I gotta kind of look for where that. I'm not really looking far ahead, which is kind of like not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to look far ahead. So it's definitely a mistake I'm making. But I'm not going fast enough where I feel like looking far ahead is actually a good idea, because I'm worried I'm gonna miss a pothole because it's gonna be in shadow. When it's raining, it's actually easier to see the potholes because they're puddles instead of just regular potholes. But you don't know what the depth is, so you just try to avoid them rather than just going through them. The mistake I made when I crashed is I was trying to get around one of those muddy potholes, and I didn't fully get around it. I just kind of hit the lip of it, and my tires went one way and I went the other. and that's how I fell off. So if you're gonna go through a puddle, cut 90 degrees across it, perpendicular, just cut straight through it, or just go slower and get all the way around it. Because I was going pretty fast, and that's why I didn't really have the time or the skill, really the skill, to avoid it completely. So nobody actually coming the other way. I mean, it's not even noon yet, so that's not quite surprising. A lot of guys riding dirt bikes, 4x4s, all that kind of stuff. It's a really great time. Like all these people, I don't know if they're together, but with the virus, you know, they probably should not be going out together. It might just be the same, going after the same objective. There's a kind of an offshoot of the trail there. It's closed for cars to go up of, but I think it leads to a hiking trail, so it's definitely just park the car and hike. So hopefully there's not too many big groups hiking together. And no, I don't want to talk too much about the current goings-on. It's just to give you some context of kind of when this is happening in March, mid-March 2020. Obviously, you'll see the video posted if I actually post it in a reasonable time frame from when I record it. Okay, so this next part's sketchy. I'm going to stand and probably not talk. Thick gravel. This is the really small soft stuff that probably be easier if I'm going faster, just because my bike's gonna carry its momentum through. It's still sketchy. Sketchy. Jeez. Just try some past me at this moment because I don't know where my bike's gonna go. I don't feel like I'm in full control. Okay, I'm gonna sit. Use our rear brake to move back down. This is not an intense gradient going down. It probably just looks flat to you anyways. It's really not a big deal. Definitely a little bit easier to go down than up, because down it's pretty simple. Just drag your rear brake and kind of keep the throttle a little bit more than you need to for that speed. And the dragging action, the rear brake's gonna make your rear wheel stay behind the bike. That's what it's kind of your goal here, is just keep your rear wheel behind the bike, behind the front wheel. Not always exactly, because you need a little bit of that flex. I'm going really light on the front handlebars, just trying to steer with my feet, really. I'm putting weight on one side or the other. When I hear people talk about their techniques in videos, you know, when I was learning and thinking about, oh, maybe I want to try off-roading, blah, blah, blah. I didn't really understand. Like they say, well, driving off-road is like completely different than when riding on the road. I didn't really understand until I've actually done it myself. And yeah, it totally makes sense. Definitely looking up those techniques and kind of knowing how to hit the roads, kind of knowing what to expect. Really important. I didn't have off-road tires last year, like all of last year when I was off-roading. So it's pretty sketchy. Now that I do, it's much better. I'm gonna let this guy pass this next area right here. I feel a bit more confident now. I've been out here for over an hour. I think I can go a little bit faster on this road. I'm still dragging the rear brake this whole time. Probably don't need to at this point. Really, I should be feathering the clutch, but I think that's more important when you're climbing and when you're doing really delicate maneuvers. When you're just riding down like this, I'm going almost 40 kilometers an hour now, and it's pretty good. This spot's a bit sketchy. Up here again, another sunny area, lots of gravel. It seems to collect and doesn't really sink into the ground because the ground's hard packed. of shake here. Hear the rocks tinging off of my bash plate. Aftermarket RNG bash plate for the Kawasaki. It's definitely done well. I don't know how much it's protecting me. I haven't gone over such big rocks that I could have damaged my engine. It's just rocks being kicked up that it's protecting against. Just one guy took me to the soft road spot. He's like, "Oh, the road's smooth. It's just gotta get over this giant rock. You just gotta jump it." And I watched him demonstrate. He took his like WR250 and he literally just jumped this freaking rock. Same story here. I'm gonna pull over, let this person pass. Getting back up to speed, I go really easy on the clutch. Just make sure I'm not slipping or I'm gonna pop a wheelie. Well, I think I should probably stand for this next section here. Dirt in my eyes. I'm not wearing goggles. Just have a modular helmet and it has built-in sunglasses. So I'm just using that, and it's protecting me most of the part. I'm riding mostly with my visor open because, like I said earlier, I got a lot of layers, and it's pretty warm. Pretty warm. I should really peel this off, but it's fine. Okay, there's probably gonna be another spot I gotta stand up here at the end of this shadowy area, so I'm just gonna sit, breathe, and stand. Going around corners, of course. Sketchy, but that's really when you got to use your feet to kind of steer. Okay, really watch your lines. Really cut this road, this corner. All the rocks and the edge of the road is like washed away, so that's good. Oh jeez. Oh, I totally screwed up there. I hit a big rock, deflected, tightened up my grip, and I ripped the throttle a little bit. And it's not what you want to do. If you deflect, you don't want to tighten up. You want to use your feet. Steer. I'm going to keep down here, see what going through this corner. Shouldn't be too bad, but yes, I'm kind of taking this weird line here. This next spot is, but just oh jeez, oh these whoops, oh no, get away from them. Remind me. Guy with crazy suspension starts reverberating, creates these like weird shapes. The other way, this way back seems better, but I think I'm just more confident, which I'm glad I saved the recording till now because I was going so slow earlier, so sketched out, sliding all over the place because I'm going so slow and I'm not keeping my mind. This is much more. Not relaxing. Definitely don't think it's relaxing, but it's a workout. It's intense. It's fun. This is weird flat patch of road up here. 2 kilometers. We're at the 2K mark. That's pretty good. Going at this. Yeah. Oh. And the last sketchy part is right at the entrance, actually. I saw the entrance, I went through, and I was like, oh my god, if this is the entire road, I gotta turn around. There's no way I can do this for 10 kilometers. But it wasn't, thankfully. There's a few sections like this where it's just pretty much smooth. There's almost no gravel in certain sections of the road where people are driving. But it's been dry basically for a week. I don't really think it's rained in the last week, so there's lots of dust. lots of these dry spots. So I think I'm at the entrance almost. This is kind of the first hill, I think. I'm gonna a little bit slower here. Just gravel. There's my brakes. They're up. So people pull over at the entrance, get their things ready. What they do, it's a P-brake. The bumpy road, gets their ladder. This is not the entrance, not yet. This is probably like the first area go for me. The kids did the ATV all himself. So I feel more confident going faster. It doesn't feel sketchy. Just have to really let the bike do its thing, kind of pick the lines. There's this corner. Go around the corner, just take it easy, take it easy. I mean, it's definitely not the hardest trail I've done. It's much simpler than that, and it's definitely much better than the winter or the fall when I came when it was raining all the time, and it was raining on me. So I'm nice and sweaty, but I'm not wet from rain, just wet from sweat. And here's the last section. This is not the hardest part probably, but at the end of the trail, my mind is thinking about taking a P-brake or just pausing the camera or something, so I'll be fully focused. All this dust, I gotta put on the mask. Look at that. That coughing is not from COVID-19. It's from the dust. The dust. There we go. I can see the road up ahead where those other cars are, the stop sign. So we're almost out. Go back to third gear here. And this bike doesn't have a lot of torque at the low end, which is actually great for me. I don't want a torquey bike. I mean, it's got torque at the high end. So if I really need the torque to get over something, I can just rev the shit out of it in first gear. But like I don't feel like there's a lot of pushing power in the back when I'm in a higher gear, low speed. So I can drag the brake and just kind of cruise along, and it's no big deal. So this is it. This is the end of the Stave Lake Road. I don't know what exactly the actual road is called, but back to the highway, get myself home. Let's make sure I can balance where I am here. So thanks for joining me on that journey. I don't know how many more videos I'll do in 2020, but as long as the government doesn't say stay in your house and they just say stay away from other people, then it's all good. So thanks.